In Genesis chapter 4, verse 4 to 5, the Bible tells us that God respected Cain's offering, but he did not respect Abel's offering. A simple question then is, why? This has led to many answers and many interpretations of why God respected one offering, which is the lamb, and did not respect the other offering, which is fruit. A follow-up question might be, does God like animals and he doesn't like vegetable? Is that true? Well, let's explore this a little bit further then. The short answer to this question is simply this. This is a true example of God looking at intention of the offerer rather than the offering itself. Let us now compare a little bit more detail between Cain's offering and Abel's offering. Notice in the text, Cain's offering was to God, quote and unquote. Abel's offering was just offers. The mention to God, the two words to God, is absent from Abel. This in itself reflects the fundamentals of this two offering, the fundamental views of worship between Cain and Abel. You see, Cain thinks of his offering as a gift to God, while on the other hand, Abel's attention essentially concerns the meaning of the sacrifice itself, namely God's gift to him. In short, Cain's view is an upward movement to God, to please God, using his own efforts. Abel's experience was a downward movement from God. You see, Abel's offering was not per se a better offering than Cain's. Abel's offering of the lamb per se is not necessarily a better offering than Cain's offering of fruits. In fact, Cain's fruit, and I paraphrase here, may have even been a better product than the sheep provided by Abel. The clue to the intention is the type of offering that's been made. Abel chose from the firstborn of his flock, the most precious of the season's product, whereas Cain took any fruit from the land. What this means was Abel's offering was the expression of humanity's need for God's salvation, contrasting Cain's offering, which is associated with human strength, human works, in exchange for merit from God. In short, no more than an empty ritual gaining favors from God. So when God looked at the spiritual conditions of the two persons, Cain and Abel, doing the offering, God can see the difference. God would prefer somebody who would offer him an offering with the right intention and with the right reason. God in this instance really is not interested in the offering per se. In fact, in Isaiah chapter 1 verse 11, it did say, I quote, "To what purpose is the multitude of your sacrifices to me, says the Lord? I have had enough of burnt offerings of rams and the fat of fat cattle. I do not delight in the blood of bulls or the lambs or the goats." Unquote. In Isaiah chapter 1 verse 11 onwards, essentially Isaiah was writing about God's rebuking the rebellious Israelites who were doing all the right things, following cultural and ritualistic processes to please God. God is saying, I don't want that. I want your heart, not your rituals. So to answer the question, why did God respect Abel's offering and not Cain's offering? It is the spiritual condition of Abel as opposed to the spiritual condition and the intention of Cain.